Welcome, this is Story in the Making, Future Me Project. Jordan James Miller, October 15, 2025, age 38 years old. Hey everyone, and welcome to Story in the Making podcast. Today we have a special guest on our show. We have Elliott from the PX Project. We just did a Future Me project as well, where we actually interviewed ourselves and talked about our future plans. So, hey, stay tuned. We have a behind-the-scenes sneaks of that filming, as well as, of course, this whole week, which I've been embedded with the PX Project, really having a fantastic time, really kind of showing the ropes and mentoring Elliott here, and he's a fantastic young man. And guess what? We are here live. This is Story in the Making. That's our opener. So.
And then there'll be music.
All right, and welcome back to Story in the Making podcast. Of course, today we have Elliott. Elliott, why don't you introduce yourself and also explain where the heck are we? What is this space? This is not normally a purpose-driven film.
Yeah, so hi, my name is Elliott Rodriguez. I'm a fellow at PX Project, learning how to improve my cooking skills, improve my career readiness skills. Because I love cooking. But right now we are in the photography studio. We talked to Meredith and everything. We're like, hey, can we get this little room situated for us so that we can do our little interview? And it turned out really well. Like, we got everything set up here.
Looks
so
nice.
It's very nice. So yeah, it's going good so far.
Yeah, so special thanks to the PX Project. I'm definitely very fortunate to work with the PX Project on many different videos over the year, and that's I got the invitation to help shadow an extern from the PX Project. So shout out to everyone on the PX Project for giving the opportunity to do this, and also allowing us to have the space to record for this session. So so welcome, PXer. Yeah,
Thank you.
And we've done some projects, as you'll see in our footage here, that we started out working on vision boards. Really, I think that vision boards can be a helpful guide in any endeavor. And I looked at myself when I was age 20. I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do. I was actually going to school for marketing and business. It wasn't until I got to my sophomore and junior year of college that I was actually exposed to video production through an elective, and I just loved the whole process. I was an artist myself growing up, drawing and painting, that is, and so I kind of reconnected with that art form, but also telling stories can be such a powerful tool to express all sorts of different points and meaning, and so I gravitated to that, and over the past 15 years, I have done all sorts of different productions, from documentary films, TV work shows, to of course, leading purpose-driven films, and that is where we're here today, talking about documentary stories and documentary life, Story in the Making. And Story in the Making, of course, is an endeavor that started a few years ago, and really it's a documentary process, and that I call it Story in the Making, but I like to actually incorporate that into some workshops, some training, as well as ongoing projects. So it's a working title. But I'll tell you what, it has some meaning for us today, because as you can see in the background, Story in the Making, we are here talking about your story and how people in our life, for example, the PX Project, can be beneficial in trying to allowing you to have that opportunity to figure out, make mistakes, get coaching opportunities. I think it's such a helpful thing in today's world to actually have that, people in our corner. So perhaps share what the PX Project has been to you so far. You're actually you're in your as a fellow at the PX Project. So maybe explain what the PX Project is and what does it mean to you.
First of all, I'm blessed to have this opportunity. One of my friends, he was like, he has graduated from this fellowship, he told me about it, and he was like, "Hey, I think you would really like it." And I was like, "Let me check it out." So I applied, got the interview, got the job, and so far I love it. It's really helpful, and I love all the things that they do for these young people, and such as myself. But you know, it's great to see that there are people that still want to like build the youth, no matter what's going on in the world. Like everything is for a purpose, and I am happy and I'm grateful that PX is willing to build that future for many people and many more to come. Um, I so far I've been learning a lot of cooking skills and lots of emotional intelligence skills. So I really am learning a lot. So
Yeah.
it's really cool. It's fun.
Fantastic. Yeah, the PX project is very special to me. I was actually fortunate to be part of it towards the beginning. And the actual building that we're standing in, as a matter of fact, wasn't here. I think it was back in 2019, 2020 when I was originally approached by Meredith at PX Project to get involved. And there's been a lot of people that made this possible through funding. And actually, I did a video actually helped with the fundraising, which is really special because this actual space is now available. This is the Garden Center, and we are here in Houston, Texas. And really, the PX project is actually based in the Garden, and it's what the Garden says. You know, it's a fantastic place for people to come and grow and find themselves. And we're surrounded by pictures of people that have come through the program with having meaning and opportunity. So, yeah, I say all that. Really thankful for the opportunity, and I'm thankful for you, man. And it's been great to kind of get to know you past week here, and we still got a couple more days in your externship. And so I guess my question is, first, I'd like to mention, when we sat down and day one and did this vision board, you were kind of looking over yourself and seeing that from a different perspective. We also talked about what were some kind of possible career paths that you were interested in, and a couple of those. I remember, you mentioned the audio and video production, chef, and rancher, and we got down to those three, and we've been talking through it. So my question is, what has this week been like for you to be able to sit down and visualize and literally watch video footage of us talking through these things? Where do you think you are in that process?
I've definitely been learning a lot, like all this like podcast and lighting and stuff. I really wasn't too familiar with some of these things like different shots and different like ways to do makeshift shots too. With you don't have to spend so much money on equipment just to get something that you like. Things just take time. Making the vision board really showed made me think about like exactly what I like and how I am, the kind of person that I am. It makes me think a lot like what I want to do in the future and where I want to live, or what the animal that I chose, how that represents me. So I'm learning a lot for sure, and I'm very grateful and thankful for this opportunity because it's very helpful.
Yeah. Talk about the animal you chose. And actually, before that, talk about the vision board. You have it right here. We had you go through some descriptive words. What are some people, places, and things that describe you, some achievements, goals. And then one of the things I do in the vision boards is, identify an animal that would represent you. For me, I'm like I'm a dog. I'm loyal. I'm like, just like the kind of person that's gonna, bark if there's danger, those kind of things. And so, for you, talk about your animal. I mean, I didn't even know what it was when you first started.
Yeah, capybara is my animal.
Yeah.
They're like, think of a guinea pig, but just like huge, maybe like, I don't know, up to here or something. Like they're super chill, awesome. They get along with literally every animal in their little ecosystem. But they're just very calm, quiet. They don't really they have a noise they make. I think it's like a little, like a squeal or something. Not a
Mm.
squeal, but like a chirp, if you
Yeah.
will. Um but I guess I resonate with that a lot because I want to be chill. I like to be chill. I like to chill out and hang out and, kind of take things easy, not rush things, not try to like, oh, I need to
Mm.
whatever. So, but yeah, that's my favorite animal and
Yeah.
one that resonates with me. A place that I would want to live would be South Korea. I don't know.
Mm.
The culture is very rich. Everything is like very very nice looking.
Mm.
It would be nice to live out there. I like the old architecture too. It's very like it's very, how do you call it? Very like proper looking,
Yeah.
you know. Um and so it would be nice to live out there. Some goals of mine is to graduate from PX. It's a very easy goal for sure. Just keep doing what I doing because I'm here. Um, but after PX would be getting myself on track for a career. Um, Before PX or during the beginning, I was thinking a lot about like, man, maybe I want to start learning more and more and more things, like um, little kind of like interests of mine to kind of build like, oh, what do I like?
Mm.
So now that I'm in PX and I'm halfway through, I think about it like maybe I do want to do these things. Like, for example, audio video production. This is really fun. This is really interesting doing all this set and like, just sharing your creativity.
Sure.
Or being a chef, like how I do here in PX is cooking for people, making new recipes, figuring out problems like, let's say we don't have this certain ingredient.
Mm.
How can we fix up this meal to make it better or keep it as good as it's always been? It's fun to bring people together through food and
Mm.
really like learn new things. And so a goal of mine would just to be, start looking for opportunities more and more and more, and seizing those opportunities, and really building like a name for myself
Mm.
and like a career, um, so that in the future I can, kind of relax and, with all my money built up, I can go and visit South Korea and maybe like see if that's the right place for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Or that farm, that ranch idea.
Or
Yeah.
yes, or like in another as another career or something, being a rancher
Mm.
would be really cool. My grandma has a property out in Texas, like in the country, and that would be a nice spot. I mean, maybe not. Time will tell. So, but I'm looking forward to the future for sure.
Yeah. Well, the future is bright,
Future's bright.
and I think just getting to know you and your heart, I think you had there's some passion in you for things that you're passionate about, and I think it's just a matter right now of like picking one,
Right.
and I think we choose a career path, and we go down that road normally, and I think the important thing to know is there's always that space to reinvent ourselves down the road.
Mm-hmm.
There's always that opportunity. Um, it's going to be challenging, right? It's not always going to be easy to, and life will definitely present challenges along the way. Um, but I guess the best advice I can possibly make, is don't be afraid to fail. Failing is part of learning.
True.
So you might choose something, and maybe you try the video production road for a couple of years, and it just didn't pan out the way. And you learned that maybe you had more of a passion for the chef, for cooking. I'm just giving you an example hypothetically.
Right.
So there's not, I think the number one thing is don't be afraid to fail. Fail is in growth. Growth is about understanding who you are, the value that you bring, and also being mindful of the challenges that can come up. I think if you mentioned that you have the belief that the bottom line, you want to trust in yourself. And I think that's very true. But it's also get some help along the way. And I can say that from experience. So I think finding wisdom, finding mentors. You're here at the PX Project. You got 2 chefs, Adam Caesar, right now that you can talk to on a regular basis and pick their mind. This week you have me with video production. So, and then you got to find a rancher. I'm sorry, you have to find someone else. But, I think you want to just ask questions, and there's no wrong answer. I think at the end of the day, you have to jump on some boat. Right. But hey, it's a journey.
True, yeah.
You go down on that river. I keep saying life's a river.
Story in the making.
Story in the making. You're going down that river, and if it dries up, it dries up. If you hit rapids, and boat better be ready.
Yeah.
But hey, it's a journey, and it's a road. So,
for sure.
Yeah, I know you can do great.
Thank you. I believe that things will work out for me, because I have that chase for something that I want, that successfulness. I don't want to live my life guessing if I'm going to or not, if I'm going to succeed in my life. So I need to stay focused, and I will.
Absolutely. Stay focused, and I think just remembering what got you to this point. Exactly. And being attitude, gratitude. I think that's great advice for any folks here listening. And but I appreciate you being on this show. I guess this is a impromptu episode of Story in the Making, but I want to thank you for letting me be able to have you on board here, and it's been fun.
Yeah, for sure. Same, likewise. Yeah. It's been fun.
It has been. Well, that's it for our episode here at the PX Project in Houston, Texas. Check out information. Love for people to support what they do, really meaningful things. Definitely continue and hearing the journeys here of Elliott as he goes down this river of life. Encourage him. And we will see you next time on Story in the Making.
Peace out.
The thing that I always appreciate is everyone has a different perspective on life. Everyone shares different life experiences that we can all bring to the table. And one of the things I love about assembling a team and working on a video project is that we have different insights and different perspectives. And I just love that about a team. I think is really great to see.